Hello all, and welcome to Sunday's A. Normally it's Sunday's Q&A, but today it's Sunday's A. Because today I'm answering all of the questions. They weren't, in fairness, questions, were they really? More comments, I would say. So basically, here I am again. I have been in this position before, and for those of you that haven't been watching, I mean, I've been making these videos now I've been on the exchange for nearly 5 years. I've been making the videos for slightly longer than that because I started off making videos. So I'll give you a little recap here. Started off making videos about being a market trader, and then I wrote a book because markets were failing, and then I started doing stuff for a guy on the radio, a guy called Chris Hawkins on Six Music, and then my mate Ben said, you want to turn these reports into videos on YouTube, and then they turned into Courier exchange reports, and the rest is kind of history. And as a result of which, I started off making videos about the CX and about me and my life on the CX. Started off in the beginning, maybe telling everybody I knew it all, because I was just a bit clueless, and well, I didn't mean to, it just came out that way. And everyone went, oh, you know who do you think you are? So yeah, toned that one down a bit. And then from time to time I made a couple of clangers. We tried to launch our own subcontracting exchange, not realising you weren't allowed to do it. It's all been a massive learning curve for me. But the whole argument has been that I've just been doing the videos just because I did the videos, hoping the channel would grow because it might go somewhere one day, and hopefully helping people. And I believe that, you know, I've said the best feeling is when someone comes up to you and said, I joined the CX because of you, and you've changed my life for the better. It has happened to me more than once, which is great. Having said that, I've never actually told anyone to join the CX. If I've encouraged people to join the CX, and you can believe this or not, I don't really mind, it's kind of been by accident, because people have watched the videos and gone, cool, that looks good, that's great. There's a line in the old Simon and Garfunkel, a man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. I have tried to make honest videos. I've done videos on the exchange, I've done videos about it's been a great day, I've done videos about it has been a terrible day, I've done videos about when a job went wrong, I've done videos about what's wrong with the CX. But still, I do believe that inadvertently I have caused people to join. And I've never received anything for this, because they turn around and they went, well, you see, the tricky thing is, if someone rings up and said, well, I saw this video, they don't really know it's yours. Which means I don't even get the same deal that other people get. Other people, like Tony, when he joined, in fairness, when I joined, Tony got a free month. He was very kind, he gave it to me, so I got 13 months. But with you guys, if a bloke in the pub or your uncle or your brother or someone wants to join the CX, you can get them to join the CX. You get a free month. For me, if I've done all these videos, which I pretty much do other than the Google ads at the moment, which is not tons, on a monthly basis, I don't really get anything out of it. What I get out of it is the fact that the hope that one day the channel will grow and it will turn into something fantastic. The small amount of money that I get from Google ads, which is normally round about £100 a month. And if you work in the amount of hours that I put into the videos in comparison to that, it doesn't actually add up to minimum wage. I'm just being honest, not complaining, just being honest. And the fact that I help people, which is nice. You know, I'm good. I'm very pleased about that. That's kind of cool. So like everyone gets a kickback, and chances are. And then, yeah, but I don't. And then I was speaking to them the other day, and they went, oh, but you've got a bit of a link. You know, if they click on and you get, if someone signs up, and I went, it's never worked. You've never paid me any money. So they gave me another link. And then probably because I'd said about this link, they said, by the way, we're having a sale. This was not my idea. This was nothing to do with me. They said, we're having a sale. If you do a link and you do a video and we sell any of them, you can still get your drink out of it. And I thought, okay, so you're going to be doing it anyway. Apparently there's also some guy on TikTok. I'm now kind of on TikTok, kind of. They said there's another guy doing it and you're doing it and we're plugging it and it's the first ones, and when it's gone, it's gone. And I kind of thought, well, if anybody who's watching the channel gets it, I'd probably rather they had it, someone who's been thinking about it for a little while and, you know, you could be on the verge of wanting to join, than some complete stranger. So I did the video and I got the usual response, which is, and it's a valid one. You shouldn't be encouraging people to join the CX. There's too many drivers on the CX already. You know, you've sold out. I'll be honest with you guys, I haven't sold out. I am not going to get a ton of money for this. I'm not even sure I'm going to see the money because they reckon they're going to tot it up over 3 months and then pay me. We'll see what happens in 3 months' time. Sure enough, if nothing happens in 3 months' time, there ain't going to be any more videos, anything like this. And if there is, it depends how much it is, because it's probably not worth the grief. But yeah, so they basically, yeah, so I forget, I'm losing my thread a bit here. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that one at the moment. So yeah, the comments are, you shouldn't be encouraging anybody to go onto the CX. Now, like I said, I've been doing these videos now for 5 years. This is not the first time I've had this. Oh, by the way, I've not mentioned any comments, any questions, anything, because you know, you can say what you like. I'm not going to drag it all up. I made that mistake once before. I ain't doing that again. So a lot of you said, yeah, you shouldn't, you know, you think so. I'll do you a link actually. There's a link here to a video about 3 years ago, and me apologising for exactly the same thing. So 3 years ago, people were saying you shouldn't join a CX. Now, my CX number is around about 150,000. I think they're now over 200,000. I mean, it's like 50,000 people have joined in the last 5 years. It's a lot of people. I understand that. I understand the argument. As you increase the amount of vans on there, you decrease, that means there's more supply, less demand, prices go down, we can't survive as we are. So I take on board your point. I just would like to put a couple of other points out there, and I don't want a response to this. I'm going to draw a line under this at the end of the day, and we're going to move on. This kind of, I've got a philosophical point, and I've got what I suppose you would call a sort of a dogged kind of point, a dogged thinking kind of point. My philosophical point is, imagine that you're on a ship, and the ship's sinking. So there you go. Oh, the ship's sinking. There's too many people on it. Now, bearing in mind, if you've joined in the last 5 years, this could be you. So you're running up the corridor. It's like one of them old films, like one of them old black and white films. And there's a guy at the end, and they're shutting the door. They've got them big metal doors, you know, the one with the windy thing? They're shutting the door, because they've got to shut it, because they've got to seal the bulkhead. Because if they don't seal the bulkhead, the ship's going to sink. Everyone's going to drown. But you're running and you're nearly there. It's there in front of you. And you go, no, please don't shut the bulkhead. Don't shut the bulkhead. Just let me in, let me in. So they let you in and they get through. And they go, right, you shut the door. And they go running off. And you're just about to shut the door, and someone comes running up the corridor and they go, no, don't shut the door. Don't shut the door. Just let me in. Just let me in. What do you do? It's a rhetorical question. Please don't give me answers. I don't really think I'm going to entertain them because, like I say, I like to move on from this. Yeah, it's just something to think about. Because if you were one of the guys or ladies that's joined in the last 5 years, you must bear in mind there was someone saying you should shut the door then. And presumably 5 years before I even started. I spoke to my friend Simple Brian, and he said, yeah, they were saying it 5 years ago. They've been saying it for years and years. Shut the door, the CX is full. Is it full? Isn't it full? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Genuinely don't know. And like I say, it's not. I'm not trying to say it is full, it isn't full. You should shut the door. You shouldn't shut the door. I think it's just something to think about. You know. The other thing is the dogged kind of thing. Is I've always had this thing. You know, I was a bit of a fat kid. I was never any good at sports. You know, that kind of stuff. And you'd always be on the outside, and it'd be like, this is our ball. This is our gang. You can't be in our gang. You can't play with our ball. And it always made me sad and a little bit angry. And it's like, so I suppose I've got a bit of a thing against it. Again, you could say I'm being irresponsible. But I don't know if I am. I genuinely don't know if I am. It's not really that. I mean, just because I make the videos, I don't make them tell, like I say, you can go through the whole channel. I guarantee you will not find a video anywhere saying you should join the CX. All you'll ever find is what I've always said, which is, it's not a magic wand. No one's going to knock on your door and give you £1 million and you get out what you put in. So people decide to join, they decide to join. If people decide to join after watching my videos, which I try to make honest, and some of them are good sides and bad, good side of the CX, some of them are bad side of the CX, that is up to them. If they decide to join because they've been watching the channel and they get a good deal, I'm going to say good luck to them, because thank you for watching the channel and I'm pleased you got a good deal. The final bit, I suppose, is more of an economic one, which is I'm a shipper now. I sit in an office now, hence the reason that this tends to be my backdrop, which means I actually don't get a lot of time to make videos, so I'm kind of up against it as it is. I've got a little bit of a window while the trucks are running. And chances are, because it's on airplane mode, when I take this phone off airplane mode, there's going to be 3 people ringing me asking for reference numbers. I had to do a job there. I had to put a bid on the other day, and it was for about Tuesday, and it was going about 1:30 in the afternoon, so it wasn't a particularly, and it was going from Wolverhampton to Cambridge, long wheelbase. So it's standard kind of van in a standard kind of area, going to a standard kind of location. It's not going to Lincoln, it's not going to Perth or, you know, the Isle of Mull or something like that. I got one bid. If the exchange is so full, how come I get one bid? The bids that I put on are regular jobs for the next morning, coming out of Dunstable, going to the coast or going to London. I get 7, 8, 9 bids. And all pretty much, you know, none of them are silly. Not normally, I haven't seen a silly bid yet. So, I mean, you might get the odd cheap one, but that always pings up an alarm bell. So, I don't know. All I will say is I never set out to upset anybody. I've never upset to ruin anybody's life. And like I say, bear in mind, if you join within the last 5 years, there were people out there crying, saying that you shouldn't be on it. I imagine there were people crying out before I joined, saying I shouldn't be on it because it's full. So that's kind of just my 4 pennies in it. So is it worth it? What, sort of plug in the CX? I'll wait and see. I've got to be honest with you, I supremely doubt it. They'll probably go, right, Pete, you know, over the last 3 months, this many people have subscribed, and as a result of which you're getting this. And I think, is that all? Really? Is that what it says on the clicky thing? Is that, or they'll go, no one's done it, or I supremely doubt I'm going to get rich. In which case there won't be any more videos like that, so you can all rest assured on that score. You know, is it worth making the videos now that I am pretty much full-time on it and I'm not in a van, all that kind of stuff? Well, to that I'll have to say yes, because I've come this far, and there's no videos out there about how the shipping side works. Not that I know of. How to post a job, how to post a job on a computer, how to find someone in a directory, all stuff that I'm learning at the moment. And as I always do, if I learn it, I'll share it with you guys. So you guys don't have to go through the pain and the grief of going, oh, what happens here? I've just Googled that on YouTube. Oh, hang on, there's something that tells me how to do it. I love YouTube for that. How can I get the bonnet of my transit open? There's a keyhole in the mesh. You turn the keyhole in the mesh and the bonnet pops. Who would have thought of that one? How do I clear the warning code for the service on my Mini? There's a video on it. So I'll continue doing that. Like I say, guys and ladies, never meant out to cause any grief. I'm sure there are still people out there that don't believe me and don't like me. I mean, ultimately, a few of you might have probably already done it. You can vote with your feet. Unsubscribe. Stop watching. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But I'm going to continue doing what I do for the best of my ability, in the hope that it actually does help people. And that, in a nutshell, is that. So with that in mind, when I finally work out how to do it, because it's a bit tricky, because the best time to record them, because it's an open plan house, and it makes, I try to keep the noise down, so I kind of have to do it first thing in the morning. But with the chipping, I'm discovering it starts around, well, it started about 6:30 this morning when I had a phone call from one of the drivers to tell me that his truck wouldn't go into gear. So at 7 o'clock this morning, I was underneath the Mercedes trying to pour in some, fortunately there's a transmission fluid thing on the back, and I knew where it was and I had some spare, and that solved the problem, which was great, because otherwise I'd have had to cancel his job and have the truck off the road all day. And then it goes mad up until about kind of lunchtime, and then it settles down a bit. But by lunchtime, it's too late to record it. It's a bit loud. But maybe I'll have to do it on my Saturdays. Work Saturdays too, so maybe I'll have to do it on a Saturdays just so you can see it. But there you go. There's my explanation. Like I say, I never set up to upset anybody. I was just kind of hoping that I could get the same kickback that everybody else does when someone joins the exchange as a result. In fact, less, because I think that I'm getting 50 quid every time someone signs up, and I don't think it's going to be many. Like I say, believe it, don't believe it. In the meantime, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you understand, and I hope you continue to watch. And if you are on the exchange, I hope you take care and take money.